Well, for Poland, we only made a couple of 2 zloty coins back in the mid-1920s. This is the 2 zloty, made in 1924, which I noticed that one flips like this. And you can tell that it's American because there's nothing to the left or the right of the date. There would be various preview marks or something, if this was a non-American, because some of these were made elsewhere, but they have some indications, some sort of a mint mark or preview mark or something to the left and or right of the date 1924. When it has nothing, however, that means it is made at the Philadelphia Mint here in America. We made the Polish people some more of these in 1925. This is a particularly nice specimen, and this time it turns around this way, 1925. And again, it might have a dot on one side if made at London, but not having a dot or anything on either side. Again, that indicates the Philippine Mint. So, Poland has the zloty. So, that's what we did for Poland. It's not very much. And we now move on to the next country, Saudi Arabia. Now, Saudi Arabia was quite a bit of a story of its own. We made these coins, some of these coins, for over quite a period of time. And I'm not going to go so much by chronology as by denomination or value and worth. Now, this backward-looking thing looks like a 3 is actually a 4, so that's a 1/4. And you can actually see the 1356. The 1 looks like a 1, the 3 is all kind of sideways with a really long tail. The big O is a 5, and the 7 is really a 6. So that's the date on it, and you can see there's a lot of Arabic. And that turns it around too. Now, if you look at the edge, you can see that it's reeded. There's non-reeded edge versions of these smaller coins. Those are not made in the U.S. The ones that have a reeded edge are made in the U.S. So now here, there's a half. Just kind of put it on its side. You see that as a tool with a really long tail. So that's the 2, 1/2, 1357. The Arabic or Islamic calendar, which translates to about roughly 1937, given that there isn't the same number of days in the year. The years don't always exactly line up. But at any rate, this is generally about 1937 for these dates. And this is just one whole Gersh. Gersh is the name of this actual small unit of money. And again, if you can make out all the Arabic on that, good for you. That's more than I know how to do. Now, with a slightly older year, but made probably lots and lots of years, are the various fractions of the real. In this case, the denomination would be on the reverse. Again, it's a reeded edge, although I don't know that there's a non-American version of these. You got the palm trees and the swords, and other than that, it's all lettering. Now, in this case, it'll be a 1354, so you'll see that backwards 3, both on the value there at the bottom, and then above it, the 1, 3, O, the things look like an O is a 5, and then the same kind of backward-looking 3 kind of thing, that's a 4, so that's 1304. So there it is. That's 1/4 of a real. And then there's 1/2 of a real. Same basic design, bigger coin. And most importantly, on the back, again, if you look carefully, you can see that 1353, and down below the 1, and then that, just think of it as like a sideways 2 with a really long tail on it. So that's 1/2. And then there's, of course, the whole real. Again, same design, one more time. And this time just a great big 1. Now you can see the date there even easier right above it there. 1304. Okay. Now, these would be paid out to the workers in the oil fields, but to the Saudi government, they wanted to be paid in gold for their oil, and this was part of the deal. They liked the British sovereigns, but they liked dealing with the Americans better because the British, I don't know, they're a little bit harder to work with, whereas the Americans would just pay the money, collect the oil, and be on their little way. So they started having the Americans buy the oil. At first, we would just use our money to buy British gold sovereigns, and then afterwards it just made more sense to have it provided in some sort of ingot. Only rather than a whole bunch of little ingots, they decided to control the size and weight of these things by striking them as coins. They are round, they have a reeded edge. Okay. They also point out that they're made in the U.S. Mint, and in particular, Philadelphia, USA. So this one will be 45 and maybe into 46. This was 4 sovereigns. And then, for some reason, they decided to go to some smaller ones that are a single sovereign apiece. But it still has the exact same U.S. Mint, Philadelphia, USA. These were made in 1947. And all the specifications of their weight, again, the reeded edge, this is really struck just like a coin. It is essentially a coin, except it doesn't have a denomination. It's just so many ounces of gold, a little, about 0.925 something. It's more gold than the usual 90%. So that's this. And by the way, this 1947 gold coin here, it says U.S. Mint, Philadelphia, USA, is, along with the S mint marked MacArthur commemoratives of the Philippines, among the very last coins or coin-like objects made by the U.S. Mint for foreign use that actually call out specifically and explicitly where struck with at least some kind of a mint mark or an indication. Of course, the only other place you find the word Philadelphia spelled out is on some of the coins of Ecuador, but you also find that here. So those are the famous Arabic gold discs, very, very prominent. And this is Saudi Arabia. That's it for that.